Yo, what up, everybody? It is Corey JaGGoN Marko, of course, as always, and we are back with, I believe, episode now 18 of the DODCAST. There's been some dispute about where exactly the DODCAST stands. I will check this just to get this nailed down once and for all, because we are finding out facts today. And in the last few days, I got another fact that we have officially confirmed as well. Vertex is the younger Pinto. We now know this for a fact. He messaged me himself. It's number 19 overall. It says here, at least. Don't quote me on that, because I could still be wrong, in all honesty. But, yeah, so, episode 19. I'm thinking 19 of the DODCAST again. Jared says that it's technically, I think he said it was technically 20. There's some dispute about some episode maybe not being technically a DODCAST episode. I don't know which one. Fuck it, who cares? Anyways, it's the DODCAST. It's Season 3, Episode 4. It's Solitude recap and Lennon test predictions. I was going to do this last week. I was sick. And on top of that, there was no matches. So if I had done it last week, then what would I have done this week? Either way, people were going to be missing the DODCAST for one of these weeks. So I just waited till I felt a little better. My voice is still kind of shot, to be honest. But I'm going to try to get everything all taken care of as quickly as possible today. The plan was that I wanted to do 1 week where me and Tony tried to get it down as quick as possible. And I think we got it down to like an hour and a half. And then I wanted to do one by myself to try to see if I could get it down even further. Of course, now there's all sorts of shit to get into, so don't think I can get it down below an hour and a half. And I have a scrim in 1 hour and 18 minutes, so I'm going to have to really fly through this just to get everyone caught up on some things. We've got the Season 3, Weeks 1 to 2 Frag of the Week by Red Dog, which I'll, kind of let play through a little bit here. This was released 2 days ago, I believe now. It's good shit. You see a lot of duality in this. Seanality, as you want to, if you want to refer to him as such. Getting a bunch of clips on Railyard. Gall with a bunch of good clips. I just saw Nine had one. Vertex, Jesse, Carpenter, of course, and featuring, of course, ya boy, Shoutcasting it up. There's some Carpenter. Let's watch this Carpenter clip real quick. He had a bunch of them in these matches. Definitely in this match, because I was casting it and was just like, oh, Carpenter again with 4 kills. This guy's filling up the death notice as a sniper on Shamil. Timo. Anyways, I don't want to get caught up watching movies. And then we also have, I believe it was Hypnotic. Finished there it is, draft video from 2019. So this is before I was back in the game, certainly, at very least. There's Colin. There's Andy Sheen, maybe cheating. There's Jules. I believe that was Jules' first game back in competitive DOD after like 5 years. I'm not sure who Love Scenario is. This is Will Ward, Bad News Panda. This is still Bad News Panda. Bees. Nicholson. Looks like he forgot you unscope if you drop a little too far. Devin on the sniper. Seen a bit of that in recent time. Jules again. Anyways, point being, there's a couple movies out. I don't know if there's another Frag of the Week on tap right now. I have not heard of one at least, so I don't know if there's anyone who you need to submit your clips to from Solitude. There was a lot of good matches, to be honest. I'm sure that there are a lot of people who have clips, so hopefully someone will pop up and decide to make a video out of that, because that would be dope. I myself didn't get shit on Solitude, because the new meta of this game is that snipers on Solitude cannot really stand in their lofts if you're playing against players who know Solitude well enough, because you're just getting walled, naded, walled. So you kind of just have to stand out in the middle of nowhere. I believe that was the main movies that came out in the past week. We've obviously got this whole thing to talk about with Debo. I don't want to get too deep into it because then we'll be here forever. But the basic gist of it was that, the aliasing thing came up. Debo said, like, the defense of it was basically, well, go look at my VOD. And so someone in the mod chat was like, go look at his VOD. If we look at his VOD and it shows that, like, he really didn't realize he was aliased until the end of the match and then was too scared to change his name, then okay. Which, I mean, again, I try to always look at everything objectively, unbiased, impartial, and just tell it like it is. So I was like, hey, if this guy is going to get punished for something that he shouldn't get punished for, okay. So we popped open the VOD here, and then you see the first moment of him opening up DOD. Now, when you run OBS, if you tab out and you have it set to your game only, there will be black screen. So what happened here is he had DOD open, he tabbed out to start a stream, and the first thing that you see, just got to go back. It's a split second, but he had his alias is typed into the stream there. I wish I could, oh, I can go in slow motion here. There you go. So this was the first thing that was seen when we opened up this stream here. So there it is. That's the alias. Now, he said originally that he was aliased in a scrim before and he forgot. But this was what was already up on the screen when he started the stream. And then you add into account, that's not even the name he's playing with here. He ends up adding a tag to that. So that right there, he had to type the alias in at least twice. You see? Because now he's got fuckboys Vic puts on a diaper. So that kind of negated that whole thing right then and there. But I was told that he eventually mentions it in the stream that he forgot he was aliased. And that he just didn't want to change it because he didn't want to get in trouble with the stats or whatever. So I kept watching. Like, I was just zooming through it. Eventually, it comes up where, I mean, I'm going to go through and find it. This might take a second. I wish I had this just timestamps, but at one point about, I think it was like 10 minutes into... It's so quiet in my fucking earbuds.
He's like at mid-house doorway.
At some point on Axe's side, he says, oh, I forgot to change my alias. Guess I'm getting suspended for 1 week. So that happens on Axe's side. And then, again, at the start of Allied side, this one I know exactly where it's at least, because it was just right at the start of the Allied side. Right when it goes live. So we can at least listen to this one, too. If you want to go back and find the whole thing, by all means. I know that this is much louder on your screen than it is on mine right now, so I do apologize if this is way too loud. But I just wanted to bring this up because a lot of people were confused about what happened exactly. So now, the other thing is, I mean, all of this is assuming that in all these times the death notice... I think it's a
bulletproof motherfucker.
And all the times that the death notice comes up and you look at your scoreboard, you see your alias, so, you know.
What's the strat here? Same strat? I should have changed my name, god damn it. I'm gonna get banned 2 weeks now.
So there it is. That was the Allied side one. On Axis side, he says it as well. So he already knew it on Axis side, and then he said it again on Allied side. Didn't change his name either time, but in the process of that, this is what happens. So this was just going through, trying to find this, you know, evidence that was going to exonerate him from this whole situation, and then it got to this part. Just fast forward.
Wait, we don't have to record demos, right? Alright. It's been 2 weeks since I played a match. I already forgot how that's done.
Right. Okay, so right there he says he isn't recording a demo. Now, as you can see there on the screen right there, when you exec the config every time, it literally says record demos, turn on mouse, start capture with mouse multiple times, which whatever. I figured he was just kind of like trolling when he said that, like, haha, good thing I'm not recording because I just got a clip, but just really quickly, fast forwarded to see if he ever typed stop. He didn't. Continued watching to see if he ever started a demo on Allies. He didn't. So then I went back again to see if he had started one on Axis, maybe, and it was just still recording all the way through and never did. So that was really where all this came from. It was just all over the place in the VOD. This wasn't like anybody went searching for some reason to get this guy in trouble. Somebody told us over and over again, just watch the VOD. It proves that he should not get suspended over the aliasing thing. It was a genuine mistake, and he didn't realize it till super late in the match and didn't want to change it so it would stay consistent. But he realizes it, I think it's like 8 minutes into Axis half, the first half, says, oh, I should have changed my name. I guess I'm suspended for a week. Realizes it right at the start of second half, then says, oh, I still didn't change my name. I guess I'm suspended for 2 weeks. And then 13 minutes or whatever into the VOD says, oh, I'm not supposed to record demos, right? And that's where this all came from. Like, it was just right there from his mouth, you know? So that's, I know everybody is really up in arms about this whole thing, but, you know, the rules exist for a reason. I'm not going to get into the whole debate of VOD versus demo, because I think a couple people have already covered in the Discord, like, the incorrect theories that have been put out there about a VOD versus a demo. There's a million. A VOD would be great as a supplementary form of evidence. You turn in your demos, you turn in your moss, something is sketchy in the demo, you're like, you know, the admins are like, what the fuck was that shot? How do you know this guy was there? Whatever. And then you can pull up the VOD as well and say, oh, that got called by somebody. Or whatever the case may be. Like, as supplementary evidence, a VOD is great. But demos, moss, the screenshots, all that stuff is way more useful and viable as anti-cheat evidence. For a million reasons that it would take, this fucking DODCAST will be 3 hours if we start getting into that whole debate too. But this, just to clear up for everybody because of how much of a fucking hot button issue this has been this week, you know, this was not like everybody trying to just pile on Debo here. It's all right there in the VOD. Like, ignoring it would have been actually problematic. Like, that's not the kind of thing that you want from admins running the league that you're playing in competitively. It's just not. You don't want that. All things being equal, this could have been way worse, punishment-wise. Like, obviously, I'm not going to get into that either. But, yeah, all things being equal, for not recording demos, and also the aliasing thing turning out to be true as well, you know, 2 weeks for all that is really not bad. And when it came down to it, like, Debo said it himself in the VOD, that he then pointed everybody in the direction of to say how he had to prove his innocence and all this. There was nothing that could be done about it other than trying to figure out how to best move forward with a course of action in regards to all the rule breaking or whatever. And obviously he had just been warned that same day about the same thing. All this stuff came into play on this. Point being, like, that is how this whole thing came about. I didn't want to just ignore it. But really that was the only thing I could think of to address this, was to literally just bring up the source of all this, which is his own VOD. And to show everybody, I mean, like I said, if you want to go through and find the Axis one as well, I'm pretty sure it's in the first, like, 10 minutes that he says, like, oh, I'm using the wrong name, I guess I'm suspended for a week. It's literally like the same thing he said at the start of Allied side, only he says 1 week the first time, and then one-ups it to 2 weeks when he says it again. You know, so it sucks. Believe me, you know, I get it. It sucks, but it is what it is. The rules are the rules are the rules. And that's just the way that shit has to work in a fucking competitive league. So anyways, that I think covers all the things that have been going on. I think there were a couple acquisitions that got made in the league now that the roster was just getting locked. I know I saw Illusion went to Rat Pack as well as Dulamus. That's a pretty good pickup for Rat Pack to get Illusion on there. I imagine he'll be third rifling. So that kind of rounds out Rat Pack and their lineup going forward for the rest of the season into the playoffs. What else was there? I think there was like 2 other moves. Let me double check. Okay, Kaboom added to Insomniac. If Kaboom is playing, that's a huge pickup for Insomniac gamers, whatever class he plays, but especially as a heavy. Huge pickup for them. That makes them look very scary going forward in Silver this season. Purdy also. Purdy of R Sports. If you ever watched the R Sports WSVG movie, you know exactly who Purdy is. He was unbelievable at WSVG. Now, he's added to Insomniac Gamers. Not sure how much he has played or how much he's going to play, but, you know, assuming that he is playing regularly and gets back to full strength, fucking Kevin Purdy is ridiculous at DOD. And then also Jane. Jane from, you know, Recoil's wife, who has only been in the community for a couple weeks, gone out of her way to try to learn the game, this 20-year-old ass game. You know, I know, friend of the show, she has come and tried to, you know, basically told me, like, if there's anything that I can do to help, just tell me. You know, she's trying to help everybody that any way that she can, being a very good, productive, positive member of the community already, and she is now on Lads on Tour, who are going to be kind of showing her the ropes and helping her learn the game a little bit quicker without having to just kind of wait for 12 mans, because you know how that can be. Sometimes you wait around for 3 hours and then get a 12-man, and like that's just frustrating. So having a guiding hand there to be able to help figure out some of the minutia of DOD will definitely be nice for her, and seeing her remain in the community, because I know how things can be in this fucking community. There's a reason that it's died so many times, because a lot of times we get new players in and we alienate them very, very quickly. You know, people want to come in and learn the game, and there's a learning curve, obviously, and we just kind of like tell them, like, you're bad, stop playing, whatever, and they go away. If we want the game to stay alive more than a couple years this time, we need new players coming in, because people will leave. It happens. People get bored of the game. People don't want to play competitively anymore. People find a new game to play. So do, when you're playing with Jane, if you can help teach her, do. You know, every new player that we can get in this community now is a good thing and is a net positive all around for the future of this ancient-ass game. So yeah, very interesting to see how she continues to progress with a lot of good experienced players on Lads on Tour. And yeah, I think that covers all that. So we can get right into the rest of the shit here, because I swore I was going to make this episode under an hour. We're already like 15 minutes in there. Oh god, I'm still hearing this. Oh my god, don't tell me that was playing that entire
like
time in the background.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Oh no. That might have been playing the whole time in the background and I didn't even notice it. I hope not. I'm gonna just pretend that it wasn't. I'm gonna assume that it wasn't. And if I have to fucking go back and re-record the last 15 minutes, I don't think I'll do it, because I have a scrim to go play soon. I'm just gonna leave it. I'm sure that I was talking. No, but then again, even with me talking loud, I had that turned up to max volume. Oh no, this might be a fucking problem. I'm gonna just forge ahead. And if I have to re-record this whole motherfucking episode, I'll re-record the whole thing, you know, whatever. So, in the bronze, let's take a look here. Recapping Solitude, everybody's favorite fucking map, I know. Where are the screenshots? Match alerts, no. Scores, there it is, okay. So, let me see here. Where does the bronze start? There's Thunder T3, Lads versus No-Go. Okay, so Romario versus Washed Up. That was the first one that came up, I know. Let me pull that up right quick. Here we go. Gotta get this bad boy. There we go. Oh, wait, no, that's still not it. Now, there we go. Now, okay. So, Romario, 11, beat Washed Up, 168-62. I did cast this. This was a really fun match to watch. You had Van Aki and making his return, getting to actually play. I mean, this was close to their Death Star lineup here. About as close as you can get. Man sniping, Matt on a heavy. Van Aki was Stas barring, so basically heavying LZL and Rafinha on the cars, Zaps on the third. On the other side, you had Casino, Bromley, War Within, ProStar, Insane, and Bullet. I believe it was Bullet and ProStar heavying, War Within sniping, and Ben, Bromley, and Casino on the rifles. Rafinha played out of his fucking mind, so did Van Aki. I believe that, yep, Van Aki top fragged overall. Rafinha was a close second. I mean, that This fucking Romario 11 lineup is so stacked, especially when they can get like their best 6 out there. So much firepower on that team. They are scary in bronze. And them versus nice TBD, DBA, whatever they're called, week in and week out is going to be a real heavyweight battle head to head going forward. And washed up, it can be included in that as well, especially if defrag is able to come back. Giving them even more firepower. Obviously, guys like Ben, Insane, doesn't really get to play that much. He mostly shows up for matches when they need him to, so it's not like, I mean, he can really frag still, even without playing all the time. On a map like Solitude, wasn't quite the space for him. He had a tough game. War Within was great sniping. Looked really, really good. Picking up a new class again after 2 seasons of heavying. I know he was originally a sniper back in the day, so I was impressed by him being able to heavy it all. Casino Royale, back in business. Guillermo, continuing to look better the more he plays. That's really the key with a lot of the old school players to see coming back. It's just how much activity do they have. But everybody on Romario came to frag on this day. Matt actually was their bottom fragger, and usually he is like a guaranteed... Actually, he might not have been overall the bottom fragger. Yeah, he did really well on Axis. Actually, did he? He still might have bottom frag, though. 28, 46, and then LZL 46. Okay, so they actually tied. But a 46 total kills bottom frag is a really, really strong team effort. Vanaki getting back in that lineup is so key for them, especially if they can have Vanaki and Matt and Rafinha all in the lineup at the same time. Like, those are the big boys that you expect to see in like their top 3 fraggers all the time. LZL too. Zaps is a great role player. Man, great consistent sniper. Big win for them. No reason for Washed Up to hang their head. They were playing with a little bit of a mishmash lineup here, piecing it together. No defrag. Defrag was really like their... I mean, besides Arachnid last season, defrag was the guy who was mostly top fragging for them going forward. And, yeah, you love to see them get their best 6 out there week in and week out. I'm not sure how possible that is. They seem to be playing matches on different nights to try to get everybody in, but Washed Up will be great going forward for sure. And, yeah, you got 168 to 62 Romario over Washed Up. On the other side, we've got TBD versus We're Gonna Lose. 257 to 17 for TBD there. I believe I casted this one as well. It was a bit of a blowout. We're Gonna Lose still, again, getting back into the swing of things here. You did have some good performances from Skinto, not Dennis. Nick, not Dennis. Don't know where I got Dennis from. If anybody knows, Stick, I think Stick is Dennis. Stick, not Skin. Close enough, right? I was close. There's a reason there, at least. Now it makes some sense to me where Dennis came from. Anyways, Stealth was insane, of course. He's very good sniping this map. Always has been. Die Life, again. Yeah, did he top frag again? Die Life with 43 and 30 for 73. And Stealth was... Nope, Stealth came in second. So Die Life with the top frag. Again, I should check and make sure of who the MVP is. It was Stealth. Stealth was the MVP of bronze this week. So even though he didn't top frag, Die Life's not getting it again. Although Die Life still top frags like every fucking week. There he is. Top frag, top frag, top frag, top frag. Die Life, 4 straight weeks top fragging. And now that's a storyline to be on the lookout for. Can Matt top frag every week of the season? I'd love to see that happen. But, I mean, really, this was just... We're Gonna Lose had a few things to be happy about, which is all you can take from a match like this where you know going into it, like, this is going to be fucking tough. They played good defensively when they had their backs against the wall a lot. I know there was a time where, like, Moon and I think it was Pizza Hut were the last 2 alive holding the second flag on Allies, and, like, back-to-back, people coming from all over, and they killed the entire team to prevent a cap-out. Looked really strong in that regard. Just basically trying to get back to the fundamentals, remember the way maps are played and all that. They're all players that have been good before, and they will get back to that point, I have no doubt. Look at Skin, man. He almost had 60 kills in a match that they really lost by a lot. Grim, same thing. Pizza Hut looked really strong in this matchup, too, on Axis. I believe when he picked up the Stas. Started getting a bunch of kills. Yeah, he ended up with 23. And then on the TBD side, like I said, Die Life, Stealth. Stamp had a really good game. Stamp went off for some pretty crazy streaks, both halves. I saw the one on Axis. That was a 5K, and then he got TK'd by Twist. But as Ryan pointed out, if you paid attention at the beginning of that clip, he shoots Twist, almost TKs him, and did TK him a couple other times. So really, it was just a little bit of revenge for Twist. I don't think he did it on purpose, though. But we can't blame Twist too much for killing that movie streak in the end. But yeah, all in all, really, really great effort by TBD all across the board. Laura, Lynx, Stealth, Stamp, Matt, and Twist. Just looking excellent. Definitely the team to beat in bronze. 257-17 over We're Gonna Lose. Big win for them. Heading to silver now. We've got the other match in bronze every week is a forfeit, so we don't have to really worry about that. For bronze, or for silver, I mean, I believe this is technically the match of the week, but I didn't get to cast it, and I wish I had. I didn't get to cast Fuckboys Jetty. I did get to cast Lads on Tour. Yes, I did. So this week, I believe we had like a duel. Oh, okay, so it was the previous week where Cage had that top frag. Silver MVP for this week was Debo, top frag, but obviously with everything that happened, they decided to give it to somebody else. In this case, it ended up being Team Owner. And looking at the matchup right here, I mean, this is kind of like Teemo's signature route and map. 38 with the Garand and 34 with the car, 72 overall. I believe I predicted the shit out of it. I think I said he was going to get at least 70 kills, and he got 72. Big win there for Lads on Tour, 141-49. You saw, I believe Yanni had himself a good, which half was it? Yeah, Axis side. Good job sniping there for JN. Again, finally getting to play his natural class. Cage as a third rifle has been paying major dividends for this team. After heavying for all those seasons with Typical, now getting to play with a rifle, he looks very, very good at it. Of course, Milo and Chi is good heavy team as you're going to see in any division. Milo being the more aggressive, like push and fucking frag your asshole into oblivion, while Chi locks things down as the support side of things, playing really smart, good nades, good rotations, good trade fragging. And then Louis, of course, who is a very explosive streak kind of a player, which you need. You need that. Like, it'd be great to have a bunch of guys that all just go like 30 and 15, but you do need a guy who, even though he might die a good amount, like equal to how much he gets kills, he's going off on those fast 4 and 5 kill streaks that can either get you out of a sticky situation defensively or can get you pushed for a cap or break through a double cap. I saw it playing with him in this last draft. He had a lot of those moments for us, and he's still doing the same thing here for Lads. Just to check out both halves of screenshots kind of equally here. Again, Cage looking so good. Louis ends up with 52. I think it was 52 and 51 overall. Really good game. Chi, Milo. Chi and Milo didn't have to do much because the rifle team really dominated here for no-go. And on the no-go side, for Lads versus no-go, I know on the no-go side of things, Austin had himself a hell of an allied side. 41 kills there. Spoon, of course, always near top fragging the division with the heavies. They were the two big guys to watch. Allen had a few moments as well, I know. Recoil had a few really, really big multi-kills. Oh, and look at Apple with the car there. Again, in a half that they lost by a pretty considerable amount. Just very even score lines for no-go across the board. Apple getting a chance to play after he hadn't, I think, in the previous 2 weeks. For no-go, it's not that they played bad. They just ran into one of the two best teams in silver, like the clear best teams. It's very clear who the two biggest big dogs are in silver, and it's Lads and Clinic. Although now you might have a third team in that equation after the way that matchup went this week that we'll get to. But regardless, again, not trying to dwell because I'm trying to bring the DODCAST down in duration if I can. Lads on Tour 141-49 over no-go. Team owner, your MVP, 72 frags on his signature map. Good job, Colin. You are so frustrating to play on this map, and I predicted you were going to do this. I might have even predicted that you get the MVP. I don't know. Somebody who watches the DODCAST regularly, please let me know if I took it that far. Okay, but anyways. Next up. Okay, no, I don't need to go that far back. I believe next up is Fuckboys versus Jetty. Fuckboys wins 239-26. They do get to keep the win, obviously, under the way the rules were at the time with somebody not recording. Hypothetically, it could have been a forfeit loss, but the way everything worked out, they did not have to deal with that. Debo definitely top fragged here. You can see 39 on Axis and 31 on Allies for 70 total. Not the top fragger overall. Team owner obviously still out-fragged in there, but I didn't get to see this match. Wow, it looks like Modgers had himself a hell of an Axis after 39 and 30 on Allies as well. 69. Nice, Matt Rogers. By the way, if you haven't wished Matt Rogers a happy birthday, it was his birthday yesterday. Unfortunate that his Eagles couldn't get the job done in the Super Bowl. John Gale had himself a good Allied half there, holding down Gaul, which we said would be a key. However, we also said in the predictions, if both Debo and Gaul are playing, there's probably no path to victory for Jetty. And, 239-26 does reflect that a lot. It's a tough map. You got a couple guys that haven't really played DOD in a long time. God, I just keep thinking about whether or not I had that stream playing in the background the whole time I was talking. That's how quiet this fucking earbud set is. I couldn't even tell if the stream was playing that whole time. It wasn't until I opened it up and saw the little bar moving that I was like, oh no. So hopefully I don't have to re-record this whole thing. Which is kind of why I'm kind of pushing it along as fast as I can even more, because I'm just assuming I fucked up that bad. But Fuckboys, with this roster, obviously they won't have Debo for a couple weeks, but Hopper continues to get better. Nicholson finding the class that he wants to play consistently, keeps getting better. DB on the sniper getting to play his natural class. Quack Duck now getting to play more for Fuckboys, was a really, really strong player last season. And yeah, obviously Gaul and Debo, that's two gold tier players, whatever you want to call it, high tier gold players. And that seems to be the formula in Silver this season for most teams. Have a couple of guys that can really carry the workload frag-wise, fill in with the good role players, and Fuckboys are looking like they got the right role players there. Hopper keeps getting better, man. Even though you keep telling me not to watch you, every time I do, you're looking good as shit, man. You're looking good as shit. So just keep on fucking practicing, because, man, Hopper is looking like a force to be reckoned with on the heavies. Quack Duck, nice half there with 38. DB, 30 and 14. What a half on Allies. I mean, I can't even, fathom that, because every time I'm playing fucking Solitude, I'm just getting walled and naded into oblivion as a sniper, but that's a hell of a half. No matter what the map is, no matter what the side is, anything. And on Jetty's side of things, I mean, you kind of have the same story with them. It's four guys that are putting up really good numbers every week and showing that, they are coming to win and they're bringing the A game. Just got to get the time in for the last two guys, whether it's Ian, Kiwi, Frank, Sapphire, some combo of those four. Once they find the right configuration between those players, they'll be able to turn some heads, and just continuing to practice, because Rib is still rusty as fuck, even though he looks ridiculous. That's not even Rib at his finest. I expect Jetty to turn things around as they continue to play more and more and shake off some of the cobwebs. But big win for Fuckboys. 239-26. Obviously, a lot of drama surrounding all that, but it's done. It's over with. Everybody knows the fucking story now. We can just let it go, and Debo will be back in 2 matches. They'll have him for the playoffs, and now there's no dispute about what the fucking rules are, at least. So be very careful. Tread lightly going forward. And I mean, I'm not saying that to Debo. I'm saying that to everybody, because once something like this happens and it's a huge community-wide situation, there's no more chance of oh, well, I made this little mistake and, could you look the other way? I have this and this and that to make up for it. And, now once it becomes this, it's done. And the rules are the rules, ironclad. I still think it's crazy, you know, having to change the rules in the middle of the season, obviously, but you live, you learn. They're ever evolving, it turns out, and, you know, I look forward to seeing what Fuckboys does when they get Debo back. Obviously, they're gonna miss him. I'm not sure. I don't think there's a bye in Silver, so they don't get to hopefully luck out where they don't have a match during that suspension. He'll miss Lennon and Thunder. So I don't think he likes Thunder. I'm pretty sure he usually avoids playing Thunder because of something with FPS. So honestly, I think that he might have actually come out on the better end of all this. He definitely did when you consider the whole angle of everything, but whatever. Next match of the week, clearly, as the favorites of Clinic went up against Insomniac Gamers, who have now inserted themselves into that, you know, what used to be a two-way war for the big boy spot. Insomnia is right there with them. Only ended up losing by 10. I wish I could have casted this. It was at the same time as our match. I actually have no idea what happened in this. If somebody has a VOD, please let me know. But yeah, obviously a 10-point victory for Clinic. Maybe the biggest test they've had as a team. You know, when they're in Silver. In Gold, obviously, is a little bit different story, but they are undefeated as a Silver team still, and this is, I believe, their closest match. Carpenter dropping fucking bombs as always. Anybody who doubts that Carpenter belongs in that top sniper combo with the Knicks and the Nightmares and the Pauls and whoever else, Carpenter belongs there. When it comes down to who I like as a sniper, who I dislike playing against the most, I would put Carpenter in the top 3. And sometimes, depending on the map, top 2. So that is something to always be on the lookout for in Silver this season. It looks like Illusion and Sean had a bunch of kills on Axis side. Sean top fragged overall for Insomnia. Of course, he's been rock solid, Sean Micah Sabine, in his return to DOD. How'd Hip do on the sniper? Pretty good. But going against Carpenter, obviously, that's a sniper battle that nobody really wins. Suave with a hell of an allied side there. Not even his favorite half. He's usually a car kind of guy. 32, 36 for Big Vic there with the bar. On the Insomnia side, it really, I mean, when it comes down to it, every week with Insomnia, you can expect Sean. Well, I was Sean and Illusion. Now Illusion's not in the team anymore. But Sean, at very least, will be dropping bombs. They've added some guys now. We'll see what happens with them going forward. Kaboom is a great pickup, of course. We'll see if Purdy ends up playing and if he can get back into DOD shape. But, you know, you got that big fucking fragging rifle in Sean, who's going to go off on big streaks. He's going to have a good KD. He's going to throw the right nades. He's going to be pointing everybody in the right direction. You got so much experience with Gandhi and Head Like a Hole. And then 9 now getting the chance to really, like, be the aggressive heavy on this team and be pushing forward and fragging, looking great this season. Insomniac Gamers, depending on how things shake out with the roster here, are now in that conversation, that 3-way conversation for the top of Silver. But Clinic still reigns supreme. I mean, this team has played together forever. They are, in my opinion, like the blueprint of what a DOD team is competitively. You have a couple guys for them who will top frag more often than not. Wow, Swab did have a really good Axis half too. Not even Carring. Good for him. Candyman got to Car, which is a change, but interesting. Insom got in this week again. Tom sat himself out and did the cast. Just really, really strong team effort, like across the board out of Clinic. Always, that is the name of the game with them, and they do it as well as anybody. Clinic remaining undefeated across now a season and a half of Silver. Will these guys ever lose in Silver? I don't know. I would guess right now, no. And as I said last week, I don't care who they're fucking playing. I'm picking Clinic until they lose. And I'm sorry if that offends anybody, but they haven't lost yet, and it's been a lot of maps. So 115 to 105, Clinic over Insomniac Gamers. Now we get to the gold. So that was... well, this was like what I said was the match of the week as far as what I was going to cast. We turned out with 3 good gold matches, though. I'll just do my match first. Honest to God, this match is like a blur to me. I was just getting naded and walled for 40 fucking minutes. 99 to 90, Thunder over T3. T3 is so painful to play on this map. I actually barely remember who did what. It looks like J-Rod top fragged the server on our Axis side, followed by PDX and Ryan, emo. Tox is even, I'm negative, Jules is negative, Taylor's negative, Till's negative, No Name just positive, Leo positive, Patton positive. We lose that half by 30. They had a very random cap out in like the first 5 minutes. And then after that, we pretty much had the map and were threatening to cap out for like 80 to 90% of the rest of the match. As you can see there, Toxinator with a 44 on allies, leading the way. That's a shitload of kills. Ryan, again, 28. Jules with 29, second top fragging for Thunder. Brian and J-Rod there, 25. Me barely going positive. On the other side, looks like PDX top frag, just negative. Taylor, second. Leo, No Name, Till, and Patton. I feel your pain, Nick. I mean, both of us, we had very similar scores where we were like just positive on allies and a little bit more negative on Axis. There's just, I mean, as a sniper playing against these teams, there's only so much you can do. And if you're having a really strong half against a T3 or a Thunder sniping on this map, there's something weird going on. Because normally it's just you're getting naded in wall nonstop. But anyways, good game to T3 as always. A single-digit fucking difference between these two teams. It never ends. I believe, what's that at now? Armory, we won. Railroad 2, they won. Rail Yard, they won. Railroad 2, we won. Lennon, we won. So it's 4-2 in the series now. And I think there's only been one match, maybe two, that was like double digits or like more than 20. It's as close as two teams get at the top. It's fucking ridiculous playing these guys all the time. And I'm sure we'll fucking see them again in the finals or in the semifinals or in the quarterfinals. We will inevitably have to play T3 again at some point. Moving on. So this was a fun surprise. We had Why So Serious versus iFart, and I got word. I wasn't sure what I was going to do here because I had just finished casting another match, and I was like, I think I'm going to take a break. But then somebody in Twitch chat was like, well, I heard Why So Serious is going to play Serious today. And I was like, oh, shit. Okay, well, I'll take a look. I'll start casting it and see like if they're really going to go all in on this. And they did. And they won. Why So Serious? 95-67 over iFart. This was a crazy match. A crazy match. Back and forth. The big story was Justin Lynch Monday for Why So Serious, as you can see here. 34 on Axis Heavying and 35 on Allies Heavying. Top fragger. MVP of the week in gold, I do believe. There he is. Hell of a game for Justin Lynch. This was just like one of those games where movie clips are happening all over. Cum had a really good game for iFart. No Nightmare for iFart. Obviously, always unfortunate when they don't have him. He's a stud. Paul Kuhn had a bunch of movie clips on Allies. Went 32 and 21. Had a great game. Element, always strong, no matter what route and what gun he has to use. 36 with the car. I believe it was 32. Or no, 28 on Allies. I think he was switching around between the Garand and the Carbine. All I know is there was one time where he had a... Oh, that was in a different match. Never mind. Where he had a Carbine and was holding the last flag and did like 70 damage with it and died. Where I said in the cast, like, well, if he had a Garand there, he would have got that kill. Didn't happen in this match, though. Jizz with 30 for iFart there. Crod with a good Axis side. He's good at holding double cap. Recoil Ringing had a hell of a game rifling. He got to rifle, didn't have to snipe. On a map like Solitude, that's the dream, baby. Getting to have some nades on that fucking shithole of a map. And Paul, again, a great half on Axis side sniping. That a third? Cum was the top fragger for iFart, it looks like, followed by Manor overall. Die Life was ringing. And yeah, just really, really good game by Why So Serious. Booten had a couple really nice movie clips as well. Just Why So Serious, when they come to play, they are a good team. As Thunder witnessed firsthand on Rail Yard. Like, just honestly, I thought we were going to lose that match. The way the first half went. It was like, oh my god. After all the controversy going on about this team not trying, and we didn't even bother scrimming, and we came into this match thinking they were going to prone train and we're going to lose. Because when they are out there and really trying to win, they are a good roster. Hopefully they'll keep trying going forward because I think that's a valuable addition to Gold. That really, I mean, I would love to see that. I had a great time casting that match. All their players are so exciting to watch and play in a way that's just fun to cast. Lots of multi-frags, pushing forward, doing interesting things, playing the game in interesting ways. And yeah, so big win there for Why So Serious, 95-67 over iFart. And then the match of the week that I actually casted. Oh my god, I'm cutting it so close with this cast. Icy Hot versus Rat Pack. Icy Hot wins by 13 in the end because Icy Hot always plays games that are super intense. This one came down to there was a full cap on each side, and it basically got to the point where Rat Pack got mid, or double cap, and they just needed to hold it out. It was tied, I think, at one point, and if they started pushing, overly pushing for a cap out, they all died. Icy Hot got double cap back, and they didn't give it up, so they end up winning by 13 or whatever it was, but Rat Pack proved that they are a team to be contending with in Gold. They are, Icy Hot is right there with Thunder and T3. They have to play Thunder this week. That's going to be an interesting matchup. Winner of that is number 1 seed in Gold. Bees, really good game. The heavy duo just did a great job for Icy Hot controlling their areas on the map. As you can see there, Bees with 31 on allies as well. Vertex, Mr. Dependable with 60 kills, 30 a half. Jesse, 32 on allies, 25 on Axis, holding on to double cap. He can be very frustrating to play there. William Sick Blackwell being a turret, as always. Ben being very unhittable, one of the only ways to survive as a sniper this much on this map. And I saw it in the scrim right before we played Icy Hot, and I was like, I can't hit him. He's just standing there. He's not even looking at me. He had a really good game sniping there. Arachnid, great Axis half. Seems like the Axis side, there's some extra places you can kind of get into to snipe from position-wise. Allied side, certainly you can just go under the tower, stand in the middle of mid-house, whatever. Going up into the tower nowadays is very dangerous because everybody knows how to do a few specific things to counter that. And people just are better at the game now than they were 15 years ago. It used to be as a sniper, you could just stand out there in the middle of the tower and be scoping in. And as long as you didn't get picked by a sniper, or maybe 1 out of 3 shots by a car, you could survive. But now it's STGs are killing you. You're getting walled from the double doors at Slip and Slide. You're getting picked by an Unter. You're getting walled by a sniper. There's a Stas in the hole in the crack. Or you're looking at the hole and a guy snuck out Slip and Slide and needs you, So good job to Ben for being able to have that good of a match in Gold on the sniper rifle, both halves. Just all in all, Icy Hot continues to look better and better from a team that was already a force to be reckoned with. Rat Pack, nothing to hang their heads about here. Look at all the talent on that team. Of course, this was also the Pinto Bowl, so the younger Pinto ends up 2-1 in the series now. But CK, because this map is very much his flavor, 31 kills on Axis, on allies. What did he have? 22. So he did lose the frag battle as well. PB at 52, it looks like overall. Good game for him always. Very consistently going to have 50 or more. Devin had a rare, tough half there. Tough game overall, but in particular that half. It's just one of those things, Solitude is a map that becomes a slippery fucking slope, and when it starts to come down, it's like an avalanche of bullshit. So, nothing to worry about with Rat Pack. I think that the way that team is constructed, and now adding Illusion, you've got Devin and Spec Ops on the heavies. Perfect mixture of passive and aggressive. I think if that heavy team can get the chemistry down a little bit more, that alone is gonna surprise some people. You got PB, who's just a jack of all trades, rifling, can play aggressive, can play passive, all the mechanical skill in the world. CK is a little bit of a wild card. He can have really good games when things are going well, or because he's so overly aggressive, he can die 40 times and be incredibly frustrated by it. And then Arachnid, just continuing to improve, getting reps in Gold against other Gold snipers that we've all been playing against for the last 2 seasons up here. He's somebody who I will continue to have my eyes on, because I think by the end of the season, you're going to see him starting to get put in those conversations with the other guys like the Nightmare, Patton, Hildebrand, Carpenter, Paul Kuhn, like the guys who you really hate to play against. Arachnid is so fast. Obviously has not been playing 1.3 for very long, but all the potential in the world there. Has now changed his name to Venom. Much cooler, I agree. Eddie Brock is the man. Venom is the shit. Let's move on. That's all for the recap. I'm trying to truck through this. This is unfortunate because I got 29 minutes left to make this, well, whatever amount of time it'll be. Let's see. 50 minutes. So the best I can do is 1 hour and 20-something minutes. Oh, God, oh, God. And I have a scrim at 4:30. Fuck. Oh, that's the stats page. All right, let's go. Bronze schedule. What do we got for Lennon? First up, Romario versus We're Gonna Lose. So another tough draw here for We're Gonna Lose, obviously. As I mentioned before, it's a team that has a lot of experience and talent on it, but they just... And here's the other thing. This is BNZR. If anybody... I mean, I remember him. He's a hell of a player from the UK. Very, very skilled. He's got a movie on YouTube and on DOD movies you can look up if you want to see. Getting him in that lineup will be very helpful for We're Gonna Lose too. He's experienced. He's talented. Assuming that he's been playing, he'll snap right back in, can play any class. For We're Gonna Lose, it's just a matter of getting reps in, practicing as much as they can, continuing to gel. And I think they're going to improve just over and over again, week in and week out. But this week, they're up against, again, another one of the big favorites here of bronze. They get back-to-back weeks against them in Romario, a team that I am a huge fan of, obviously, as everybody knows, dating back 3 seasons worth of the DODCAST now. If you see the same lineup as last week of Vanaki, Zaps, Matt, LZL, Mand, and Rafinha, but they have so many guys that can slot in any of those spots too, and they never get weaker from it. Barinya has to play this week instead of Rafinha. So what? He's going to get 33 kills instead of 34 maybe with a car? Like, every one of these players is just so good at the game. And Lennon is a map that I've seen them be ridiculous on. Little bit of a different lineup when they did that, but it's not different enough that this is going to be a problem. Like, Burn, I remember having a great game against Nogo on Lennon. Just like, at one point he actually lagged out on the long flag after capping it, so Nogo couldn't get long until he left the server, which was 5D chess. You never see anything like that again. Honestly, like, I don't think We're Gonna Lose it has any delusions about this matchup. I think that they're just looking to continue to get better results. I don't think that they go in expecting to win against this team. But if they can keep it close, that will be a huge, huge victory because these guys are great players that are playing all the time and have been for at least the last year. So if We're Gonna Lose, I'm just looking at it like, hey, let's just go out, have good communication, throw good nades, don't get upset if we're losing. Try to just show a little bit of progress compared to the previous week and just take it one step at a time, the way that CIS did last season. Because CIS started off the season last season exactly like We're Gonna Lose. And guess what happened by the end? They won what is basically the bronze championship. And if you had said that to a lot of people at the beginning of the season, they would have said you're fucking crazy based on the results you had seen. But anybody who was playing with and against those guys could see all the potential in the world to get to that point, and I think We're Gonna Lose has it as well. But I mean, I gotta take Romario. I'm gonna say like 350, but it could get like really, really bad, obviously, if you get to that point, especially on your Axis side of Lennon, where it just gets demoralized and you can't get off your first flag. And if Romario is able to get those necessary kills to keep capping out, you could see this, get up to a 450, 500, because Lennon, there's so many cap outs on. But We're Gonna Lose if they can manage to keep it close. Like, I'd say even if you keep it within 200 points on a map like Lennon against a team like this, you got to be happy with that, seriously. So yeah, I'd say Romario by about 300, 350. And I'm gonna go again. You know what? I'm gonna add in each of these matches. I think the MVP that I'm gonna say is gonna end up being is gonna be Vanaki. Going to get 78 kills. Might as well, right? On the other side of things, we've got Flossed versus Nice, or TBD, or DBA. So obviously, DBA, as they are now called, I believe, the favorites of bronze at this moment in time. Laura, Stealth, Twist, Stamp, Die Life, Lynx has been their main lineup. They also have Dillard, who is a god, and Red Dog, and Hey Hi. All these good players that they can have fill in anytime that they need it. And then on Flossed, after a week off last week, this is a team to watch. They had a big win against We're Gonna Lose on Shamil. And now you got Joey added to this team. I wonder if Shifty will ever get in there. Finchers look great. King Yo, another guy who predominantly played in gold. Beluga keeps getting better and better. Crimson was looking good. Yaya was looking good on Shamil. Like, these guys, I'm very curious to see how this goes. I don't know what to expect. A lot of them I haven't seen play enough that I can really confidently say, like, you know, I expect this guy's going to get this many kills and this guy this many kills. But, I mean, it's Lennon. Stealth, great on Lennon. Stamp, great on Lennon. I don't care what he says. I scrimmed against him with Jetty on Lennon like 3 weeks ago, and man, I think he went like 31 and 14 with a bar and like 32 and 20 with an STG or something like that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I did have a lot of kills too, but like whenever I ran into Stamp, he was winning the majority of those battles, and I think he is going to have a great game this week. In particular, Stealth, of course, and Die Life, of course. All those guys I expect to have big games. Laura usually gets a lot of kills on this map as well. Depends on which route she goes. There's not as many kills to get on long, just in general. Take it from me, Mr. 15 and 11 on this map sniping. But, you know, there's so much fucking talent on DBA. They are so good. They keep proving that week in and week out. And the frag power is going to be, I think, too much for Floss to handle. But again, they are kind of an unknown quantity at this point still, Floss. They have guys that we know, but we haven't really seen them as a team enough yet to really be able to tell. But assuming, just based off of what I do know, I'm going to say DBA by 226. And in continuing with things, I'm going to say Die Life top frags. But if it's not him, it's Stamp. Just you wait and fucking see. Just you wait. Twist could be too. There was that moment last season where me and Matt were casting a what were they called at the time? Wow, how did I just forget the name of what they were fucking called at the time? I just left my mind. But whatever, it was basically the same team. And I predicted, I think that Stamp would top frag, and Matt predicted Red Dog. And it ended up being like nearly a tie, and Stealth was also tied. It was this whole thing. I want to see that kind of battle between Stamp and Twist, because I know they both can drop bombs on Lennon. Of course, Stealth will probably end up being the one to top frag everybody, but I'm going with Die Life because right now he's 4 straight weeks top fragging the entire division. How can you pick against that guy to do it again? It would be weird if he didn't. Come on, Matt Fazana. DO dealers for life. I want to see 5 straight weeks of top fragging your entire division. DBA over Floss by 226 is my prediction. And Die Life for the top frag. Stamp for second. Stealth. Those would be one of those 3 somehow. So that does it for bronze. The other matchup is a bye. Washed Up gets a bye this week. Be able to move forward and look ahead to Thunder, which you know Bullet's looking forward to for sure. He's really has a good understanding of the Donner Thunder style maps, and whoever Washed Up gets to play better be on the lookout, because if they think that they are going to have an easy time on Thunder for any reason, they're not going to, especially if Defrag can come back and play as well. So moving on to Silver. Oh, I didn't pick a match of the week there. I'm very curious, though, to see the Nice versus Floss matchup. Because I don't know what to expect from Floss. So that's the factor for me that makes that, you got the best team up against a slightly unknown quantity, and I want to see what they're going to bring to the table this week. And Silver. So looking at Silver, I got to take Insomniac versus Lads on Tour for the match of the week. So Clinic versus Jetty. Jetty obviously having some growing pains so far. John Gale, Steve Heisey, River Oyster, Modgers, been the main 4, and then they've been slotting a few different guys into the last 2, whether it's Frank Calise, Dan Calise, who is Kiwi, Ian Galasso, or Sapphire. All, like Sapphire, obviously, I would love to see getting to play all the time. I don't know if she's like not available to play all the time. Dan Calise has only just started playing DoD in like the last month. Ian just got a headset and is playing on a laptop, it's one of those things where it's like whoever they have putting in those spots, they just got to do their job, and they're not expecting like 50 bombs out of any of these guys. And they're just going to keep getting better. That's why I keep talking about Jetty in terms of look out for them in the playoffs, because those last 2 roster spots are all guys that are like weren't around in DoD for years now. They're old school players, except for Sapphire, obviously. But I think that she is kind of like not super available. Otherwise she'd be a great choice for one of those 2 spots with all the experience and the intangibles that she brings, and being able to play really consistently as a third rifle and go those routes. It's still just a matter of getting the reps for this team. But man, do they have a task ahead of them with Clinic, who remains undefeated in silver. This is week fucking 4 now, right? Week 4. So they got 3 more wins. That's like, they're like 14-0 or something in silver. And as I said last week, I'm not going to pick against Clinic until they lose. I'm not. It's Lennon. So Carpenter maybe won't be top fragging this week. I'd probably expect it to be Vic. I'm going to say Vic is going to be the top fragger. But you could see one of the rifles, Tom, Swab, Insam, if they can get going and get pushing a lot, especially on their allied side. Insam with the car as well is going to be a force to be reckoned with. But I just think Vic overall will end up getting the top frag this week. And I think Clinic will end up winning by, let's say, 184. I don't know why. But if I'm Jetty, I'm maybe looking at this week, maybe having somebody else snipe, getting Steve on a rifle, give him the chance, because Long is the kind of place that you can really, you don't even need a sniper on this map, realistically, in a lot of cases. Like, yeah, it's nice to have one in certain situations, but it's not essential. And if I'm Jetty, I'm looking at trying to get Steve more mobile. I think that would be good for them as far as getting more control of the map outside of Long, even if he still goes Long. Throw somebody else on that sniper, I think, if I'm them this week. But, Riv and Modgers and Apartments is going to be a task for Clinic. And if Vic isn't on his game and you see Riv and Matt really hold things down in apps, that is the through line that leads to the whole rest of the map. And when your heavies are dominating, it sometimes doesn't even matter what the performance is from your other 2 routes, because the heavies are just such a goddamn nuisance to those routes that it can completely turn the table. So I can't predict against Clinic until I see them lose in silver. I'm sorry. I just can't do it. I can't. I think that they will take it, but Riv and Modgers are going to be very, very key there. And if John and Steve can really lock things down, whether it be on a separate route or putting them together, that could be where they could maybe play spoiler this week. But, I don't expect to see that, because Clinic is just such a well-oiled machine. They're very good at defending when they get their backs against the wall. They're very good at damage control and not getting tilted, which is, honestly, that's more a problem for most of the community than most people might expect. So, Clinic by 184 is my prediction, and Vic is my main top frag prediction. And, if I had to pick a second one on that side, I would go, I don't know if Insam will play again this week. It seems like they're kind of shifting in and out there, but I'm going to go Swab. He had a great match last week on Solitude, and I've seen him do big shit on Lennon, so it's my second pick. If Swab doesn't play, then Insam. Next, we got No-Go and Fuckboys. Obviously, Fuckboys being without their best player in Debo, they will still have Gall. Hopper continues to improve week in and week out, as does Nicholson. Joshinator, if he gets to play. It's all, with guys like that are coming back to the game, it's all about how much they're getting reps in. It's all guys that have played in the past and at high enough levels that if they are getting consistent playing time in 12-man scrims, whatever, they will keep getting better. And that's, I think, just the key with a couple of the other pieces on Fuckboys outside of Debo and Gall and DB, who all have like an extensive experience playing in the Invite, Gold, upper, whatever you want to call it, divisions. DB on Lennon as a sniper, you're not as much of a factor, especially at that level of the game. So I don't expect he's going to be getting 60 kills overall. Gall is going to be a big, big piece this week. They need Gall playing big time. And if they don't have Gall playing, it could get rough. They obviously have guys who can fill in there. You got Quack Duck. I think he's just starting and playing as a third now, but you got Reptar. I'm sure he would love to get the chance to play if he didn't. I don't think he did last week. So, but yeah, and they're going up against No-Go. No-Go, you got Dedro, Caleb. Well, some form of this lineup: Dedro, Caleb, Apple, Corey Price, Spoon, Recoil, Allen, Austin. You figure Allen and Spoon again. I think at least on paper, you can't give me a better heavy duo. Both those guys are very capable of top fragging anywhere, anytime, and being able to carry a team by themselves as a heavy. And that bodes well for them on this map. Fuckboy's going to have their hands full with those two guys in apartments. On the long side of things, Recoil, I don't think he loves sniping this map. He's obviously still, he's a ridiculously good sniper. Austin in Well, going to be a force, man. I've seen Austin, and especially when he's rifling consistently, which we're seeing now already, versus last season where he was kind of back and forth, sniping and rifling. I'm the same way. Me and Austin have had similar classes throughout our career trajectories where we're able to be a utility guy where we can play sniper, rifle, and heavy. But really, we're at our best when we're getting to play one class consistently. And you're seeing that with Austin now. Had a 40 with the Garand last week, getting to rifle all the time. He's going to be a problem. And up against Gall might be able to hold him down a little bit. But because if they don't have apartments, it's not going to matter what Gall's doing because he's going to be getting flanked in the asshole all day. So, I got to take No-Go because I think that apartment team is just too much for most heavy teams to handle. For Fuckboys, if they can counteract that apartment team in some way, whether it be maybe send an Unter Well and have Gall try to equalize the bars and apartments, something along those lines, that would be the way that they could turn things around and give themselves a better shot. If Corey Price plays for No-Go, that's another really strong player going well there. I imagine it'll be Dedro and Recoil going long, or Apple. Apple probably would go well if he plays. He's usually carring. So, but yeah, I got to take No-Go over Fuckboys. Just again, under all those circumstances that I mentioned before. And I'd say I think this is going to be a closer match. I think, say by 60. I'll round it. And I think that Allen is going to be the big dog on No-Go this time around. If I had to pick another guy, it's Spoon. I think Allen will have himself a big game, especially with the STG this week. Spoon is so capable. Spoon might get 104 kills this week, too. You never know. Spoon, when he gets going, both halves, he's just ridiculous. They're both very much momentum-based players where once they get a couple frags, a couple multi-frags in a row, the ball just gets rolling and there's no stopping them. And on the Fuckboy side of things, Hopper's going to be key, Gall's going to be key, and the other rifle in general. If you can get Well totally under control from your rifles, and so they can kind of remove the heavies from the equation on Axis side, getting into tree and looking back at doubles, or slotting an Unter over to Well and having the car go through apartments, doing it that way, whatever the case may be, that would be the key for Fuckboys. But we'll see. Tough ask with the lineup that No-Go's got and the talent they've got there. And then match of the week, Lads on Tour versus Insomniac Gamers. Insomniac Gamers with a bit of a new roster now. No more Illusion there. Moving over to Rat Pack still. Sean Allity, 9. Head Like a Hole, Gandhi, Hypnotic. That's 5. And then, I'm guessing Kaboom. I'll just assume Kaboom now. I don't know what they'll do, though. Is Gandhi going to rifle because of that? Obviously that's a very viable solution. Just put Mike on the rifle. He rifled in the draft, and I know at least when I played him on Halley, he looked great with the car. A little bit of a tougher time with the Garand, but that takes more time to come back, getting used to the recoil and everything. And now that he's been playing consistently, I don't think he'll have an issue with that. I'm not sure if that's what they're going to do, or if Kaboom will just rifle. He can do that easily for sure. Or if he's even going to play, or if Purdy's going to play, I don't know. But playing Lads on tour, obviously the other, I think, the second best team in the division, unless Insomnia wins this week, then you got to give it to Insomnia. But you got Louie, JN, Milo, Cage, Team Owner. Who am I missing here? What? Oh, and Chi. Duh. Where is Chi? Oh, he's probably this. Yeah, Don Chiorleone. Fucking Chi. You're such a goofball. So, obviously, Milo and Apartments is a fucking nightmare for anybody to deal with. It's going to be a lot on the shoulders of Nine and, Gandhi if he is having, or Kaboom. Certainly, Kaboom matching up against his heavy partner from many, many years would be a good idea if they can. Yanni on the sniper rifle again. The long team is kind of is really like a support player for the rest of the team. It's like, you get backed up, you flood through long. You hope your long players can maybe get the Apartments guys out of there sometimes, work flank, stuff like that. But really the long guys are very rarely outside of No Name getting, top fragging. But I assume it'll be Cage going along with Yanni, Milo, and Chi and Apartments. Louis on well with Team Owner. Team Owner, again, this is a map that, in particular on Allies, he is very tough to deal with. But Sean can certainly match up with that. That'll be a really fun battle to see. Hopefully I'll be able to cast this match because I think it's going to be a tight one. Obviously depends on who Insomnia goes with as their sixth, but, we'll find that out the day of the match, I'm sure. It's a tough one to call. I got to think that Milo's going to top frag and Lads is going to win by a cap out. Give or take. 40, maybe 22, maybe 17, I don't know. But I think Milo will be the top fragger here. He loves Lennon. He dominates Lennon. Oh my god, it's getting so close to 430. Lads on tour by a cap or less, but Insomniac, if they put together the right six, maybe Kaboom getting in and heavying and Mike going to the rifle, they can definitely turn that around the other way. Sean can be explosive as fuck, just going off. If Hypnotic is picking up weapons and really pushing from long, kind of rather than just holding it, if he can get a lot of kills in Apartments or pushed up to the one, along with whoever is going along with him. Nick had a hole. That could be the way around it, kind of taking the heavy team out of the equation by getting them trapped in there through getting map control around them. And then backing them into a corner and forcing them to have to hold mid as the last flag or whatever. But yeah, taking Lads on tour. Roster shakeup for Insomnia. It could be a problem, but we don't know that yet. Look forward to seeing who they end up putting in there as the sixth, though. So moving on to gold, and I'm going to truck through this. Thunder, good luck, have fun, Icy Hot. Vertex is going to shit in everybody's face, but I'm sure Jules and Ryan and Toxinator and Dorito will also do the same. Me and J-Rod will hate our lives at long. Whoever's playing against us long, I guess it'll be Ben and maybe Jesse or William. Please be gentle. This is the battle for first place right now. We're both 3-0. I expect it'll be a really good match. I won't dwell on this all too much. Obviously, we're playing Tony Compton as well, friend of the show and former Thunder player. And I expect, they're very good at Lennon, and I'm not looking forward to this at all. Much like I wasn't looking forward to T3 on Solitude for the same reason. I'm going to tentatively call Rat Pack Why So Serious the match of the week. I hope Why So Serious is going to try again this week. But iFart versus T3, obviously you know what to expect from T3. Lineup-wise, Patton, PDX, Leo, Till, No Name, and Taylor. Sometimes Bud gets in there. Sometimes 50 gets in there. But that's generally the gist of it. For iFart, it's a little more up in the air. But based on what we played against them yesterday, it was Manor, Kum, Mata, Saka, Nightmare, and SC. But their lineup is so ever-revolving, I honestly don't know. If they were going to have, again, Caffrey playing, that would make a difference because he's so goddamn good at Lennon. Manor is very, very good at Lennon as well. They're going to have their fucking hands full, though, with Taylor and PDX, or Bud and PDX, or Taylor and Bud. All three of those guys are insane at heavying Apartments. Even Till can do it really well. So whatever the T3 lineup is, again, apartments is the key to this map, no matter how you cut it. If your apartment team is dominating, you are probably going to win. Or even just winning their battle. They don't even need to be dominating. Just winning the heavy battle will be enough to take the match. IFART, if you got Nightmare playing, you got Kum Kum rifling, you got Manor and SC heavying SC, man, if he gets back to the form that he was in once upon a time, this is a map he's very, very good at. If he plays a lot this week, then that could be something that could be a storyline, him and Manor up against Taylor and PDX. But I don't know if that's going to happen. I have no fucking clue. I don't know if Manor or Nightmare is going to play. He was playing as inactive Mayor yesterday. I have no idea. Just assuming, the basis of what I said originally is their lineup. Still got to go T3. They are such a good team. They're so good at every map. On this map in particular, they're very good at rotating around. There's a chance PDX, you just see him heavy 1/2. I know he likes to Garand well. No Name will be long. That's going to be tough to counter for anybody. No Name and Patton as a long team is just a fucking pain in the ass. Leo goes long, or at least used to go long 1/2 on Lennon. Maybe now he'll just go well straight up. But another really good Lennon player. You could even see them not send No Name long, but I think that would be a mistake. No Name, his value on Lennon is how dominant he can be going a route that is otherwise kind of like a throwaway. So hopefully T3 sticks with that. You don't need to get too cute with this lineup. You got so much talent there. Do what you know works. I suspect they'll win. We've seen No Name against similar lineups to this drop 90-something kills, 80-something kills, whatever, and I got to take him again. No Name is my top fragger prediction. But IFART, if they have that lineup out there I was talking about and they get to play more and more this week, this could be a very, very much closer matchup than you might expect. But if it's kind of like, some people can't show up and it's thrown together at the last second, then you're looking at T3 maybe by 200, 250. But I think IFART will give them a pretty good run for their money. So much talent there with their rifles and their heavies, and obviously Nightmare, the best sniper in the game. But we'll see what lineup ends up showing up for IFART, because every week it seems like they're playing a different set of 6. And then, as I said, Rat Pack, Why So Serious as the match of the week, assuming Why So Serious is actually trying to win again this week. For Rat Pack, it's Venom, or Arachnid, CK, PB, Devin, Spec Ops, and Illusion. Great pickup for Rat Pack there as a third rifle. And then for Why So Serious, Putin, Element, Paul Kuhn, Justin Lynch, Crawd, and whoever the 6th ends up being. A Ringer, it was last week, or Johnny, or Dustin, whoever it may be. So much talent on that team. Again, I will say it till I die. They are a gold team, and they are a good gold team, as they just proved. On this map in particular, it's a very strong map for them. Paul is an exceptionally good Lennon sniper who can get more kills than the average sniper does. Justin Lynch, heavying again on Lennon after he put up those numbers on Solitude. Holy shit. He could go insane. And then Crawd as the more passive of the two. Good meshing there of the styles, which is what you need out of your heavies. You need somebody who can kind of go crazy pushing and somebody who can kind of, hold back a little bit more always. Brandon, every time he's played Lennon in these last couple seasons, has gone off. And then Element is just like as good a role player as there is in the game. Whether he's carring, a third rifling, or heavying, he will do his job. This is a strong map for CK and a strong map for PB. It's a strong map for Devin. It's a strong map for Spec Ops. I'm not sure route-wise. I mean, I assume it'll be PB and CK well. Devin and Grant in apartments. Again, all comes down to the heavies. Justin, if he can go off and hold down Devin and Grant and really, end up with 70-something kills again, Why So Serious can win. I don't know, again, if they're going to play serious or not. The irony of the name, but we'll see. We'll see going forward. I just, assuming everything as I have said it would be, I got to go with Rat Pack. This is one of Spec Ops' best maps as well, Grant. Devin, when he gets going, man, I mean, he can easily end up with 90 kills. And then PB, CK, of course, with nades on this map, which is a nade fest, that alone can be enough to break a team spirit a lot of the times. But I got to pick Rat Pack by 9. 9 points. I think no matter what, if Why So Serious tries, this will be very close. I think that I'm going to go with PB to top frag this week. If Why So Serious wins, it's Justin Lynch top fragging. And because he's just blowing up apartments that way. But just, again, because I don't know who the 6th would be for Why So Serious. It might be a ringer. You never know what ringer they would even use in that case. And Rat Pack looked very good against Icyot, who is a very tough team on Solitude. And I think they'll build off of that this week. And the addition of Illusion will help stabilize that lineup a little bit so they won't have to use a ringer. And, that's, just the basic gist of it at that point. I think it'll be a very close match, though, which is why I'm saying it's the match of the week. But hopefully, Why So Serious shows up and tries again. I really think that they could be a team that could surprise any team in the division. Honestly, all the teams in gold can easily beat each other on certain maps. And I think Why So Serious could be like this extreme dark horse where if they were to decide to just fucking turn it on and go balls to the wall from here on out, they're going to be throwing some upsets out there in the end, but we'll see. We'll see. I get it. I know that they don't want to go through that whole grind again, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. Regardless, that does it. I made it 1 hour and 20 minutes, just under what I wanted to do. And my scrim is about to start, so I can't really dwell on this too much. There's also a chance that I have to re-record this whole thing because of these stupid broken earbuds, not being able to tell that there was a stream playing in the background for the first 15 minutes. So if that happens, fuck me. If not, if this does go out, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully the whole Debo situation is cleared up a little bit more now. Like I said, just trying to really let everybody see exactly what the sequence of events was and how this happened, and that it wasn't some big crazy thing. It was literally just hey, watch my VOD. Oh, okay, well, in the process of that, it was very clear as day. Everybody could see, oh, okay, so these things happened, and it just got taken from there. But yeah, good luck to everybody this week. Let me know when your matches are. Well, let an admin know so they can get put up. Hopefully I can cast as much as possible. My voice is already fucked right now. Love you guys. KTP. Peace out. Time to go scrim. I need to pee so bad, too.